Hey, Shalom. First off, I want to start off by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai by Hashem Rakakadash. It's all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh by Hashem, and in the name Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Also want to say divine honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and mercy to the hopeful elect, preaching His word in truth and sincerity. My brother Tazabah in the Great Millstone, Arizona camp, Lord will, with another video to edify. And I wanted to go on this dream I had last night, and it's cold because it blends up with scriptures, man. Right? The scriptures tell you. Let me get this. Jeremiah 23 and 28. It says the prophet that had the dream, let him tell the dream, and he that had my word, let him speak my word faithfully. What is the chaff to the wheat? Say Yahweh. So, to speak the word and have a dream that ties into it as well. Hey, it's cold, but basically in the dream, I was seeing a bunch of these storefronts, and all these businesses were failing. Right, they were defaulting on loans. Right, they were going bankrupt. The businesses weren't moving product. There wasn't enough service coming in, so there was a bunch of failing businesses. And out of nowhere, you had all these big time rich Edomites come around, started buying up the businesses, and any business that was not a performing, they basically just closed the doors on that business, man. And there was nowhere for these people to get anything. Everybody was walking around, but all the storefronts were being closed. And I saw it in the dream. And I was like, man, this shit is going out of business quick, bro. Everything stuff was just shutting down left and right. It was just the quickest layoff period, the quickest of businesses being shut down. And the dream, it was cold because of how quick it was happening, but I'll say this dream, I believe, has two meanings. One is that America's about to shut down in whole. These businesses that you see out there, they're not going to be there anymore. Right? And I'm going to get those scriptures for that. And the other thing is, the scriptures tell you the axe is even now laid to the root, right? And everything in whatsoever tree bear not fruit, right? The axe is already at the root, like the scriptures say. Roughly paraphrasing, but this is why it's time to get on your horses, man. Start producing, because those businesses that were shut down on the 2 cents of the dream, those businesses that were shut down could be compared to men that aren't producing. Right, so don't put your talent in a napkin. But going on the carnal sense of it, with these businesses closing down, this is going into the scriptures. This is Isaiah 19, and I started 2. It says, and I will set the Egyptian against Egyptians, and they shall fight. No, this ain't it. Is it? Yeah, Isaiah 19:14. Salakia. Isaiah 19:14. It says Yahweh had mingled a perverse spirit in the midst of Egypt, in the midst thereof, and they have caused it, and they have caused Egypt to err in every work thereof, as a drunken man staggering in his own vomit. It says, and you can see that happening. How it is that all these Edomites in America can agree on a system that's obviously just going to hurt the brass tacks person. Even these people that are just regular, everyday working class people, right, with no prospects, and somehow they're okay with government shutting down, cutting off half of the money coming in. You got to be a damn fool. You telling me you went from 100% being able to have 100% of patronage to going to 50% of patrons, when they sit here and say, if you don't have the Vanessa in your veins, that you can't come into the store, right? You telling me that that's better business than just taking 100% of everybody? Hey, that's killing your business. So the Lord is making Egypt err in every aspect of it, man. It says verse 15, neither shall there be any work for Egypt which head or tail, branch or rush may do, right? And that's happening in America right now, right? When you look at the whole scheme of things, the fact that you have so many businesses with Hope Wanted signs. I went by I went by some fast food place, and they were sitting there talking about they're starting salaries at like $16 an hour. They're starting wages at $16 an hour, right? Now in Arizona, I think it's a $15 or $14 minimum wage. But for you to start above that at a fast food restaurant, that's something that, and they still can't even get anybody in there, right? There's that like the one of the elders brought up that a dude sat there and applied for 60 jobs and only got called back for 14. But all these places have help wanted signs, right? Really, this place is just through because nobody wants to sit here and bust their backs for nothing anymore, right? So they're taking the time to get the better stuff, right? So it says, neither shall there be any work for Egypt, which head or tail, branch or rush may do. And with those businesses not getting enough employees, what is it going to do? It's going to cause that business to fail. Because your demand might be there, right? But the workers aren't there. So at a certain point, the service lacks and people just start messing with you, which causes what? The business to go under. It says, in that day shall the Egyptian be like unto women, and shall be afraid, it says, in fear because of the shaking of the hand of Yahweh of hosts, which he shaketh over. And this is happening now, right? Within the next few, it's supposed to be November 9th, I believe, is when that whole order from, Sleepy Joe, Sleazy Joe, is supposed to go out where companies that have employees that haven't been shot up with the stuff might have to pay penalties for having employees that haven't been shot up. So that's going to cause a lot of people to be fired there. Because a lot of people aren't with this shit. They're seeing the effects of it. And I'm working in a job where I get calls on the effects of this shit, man. Woman completely healthy, saying she get it. Now she's having an overactive thyroid to where her thyroid is becoming toxic to her body because it's so hyperactive. Do you realize what that does to hormones in the body? So that condition is going to get worse, and I expect it to get worse. And I'm waiting for the call to let me know that, hey, it got worse. So this is the effects of what's going on in the world. These things are going to close down. All what as the world today is going to stop. All this hustle and bustle. Hey, winter's here, right? Just like in the show Game of Thrones. But winter was the time of great death, and they were afraid that it was going to come. Winter's here, bro. This is Ecclesiastes 12:1. It says, remember not thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. While the sun or the moon, or while the sun or the light of the moon, or the stars be not darkened, or the clouds return after rains. You see, you're supposed to be able to get to the Lord before stuff starts happening, right? You don't want to get it at the last point, because then it's like, hey, man, you created a problem for yourself, and now you want me to come fix it? No, you should have been with me the entire time. Right? It says, verse 3, it says, in that day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Right? And that grinder is ceasing, man. America, the entire grinder is ceasing, because there might be jobs. They might want to employ people, right? But nobody wants the jobs they have, because nobody wants to sit here and work for nothing anymore. The hope that, one of these days I'll be able to get the American dream, that hope's no longer there, right? That's gone. People don't have that anymore. People know the real situation, right? It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. And right now the grinding is low. Nobody wants to work. Nobody wants the jobs that they want to give. The sound of the grinding is completely low, right? How is it that all these little young niggas are sitting here hitting licks day after day, but none of these motherfuckers got jobs? Because they don't want the jobs. They rather just take it from the next person. And them little niggas is going to be put to death too, man, because the scriptures tell you, he that stealeth from a poor man is as him that is a manslayer. roughly paraphrasing. So them little niggas is gonna get put to death too. It says, the door shall be shut in the street when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music shall be brought low. This has already happened. This is already in roll. It's just gonna get worse. Right? All these storefronts, all that, all this hustle and bustle, man, that's gonna be gone soon, man. This is 2 Ezra 6. And I started 22. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, going into your storefronts. And that's what was happening in the dream, man. All those sown places, the streets, all those businesses, they were just, the lights were going off, man. And it was cold how they came in. It was just legit, just businesses closing. Businesses closing, right? Nothing was there anymore. It was like it was there 1 second. As soon as they got a visit, it was gone. Lights were just turning out, and the street was getting darker and darker as time went on, because all the lights were being turned off on those businesses. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and the full storehouses shall be suddenly found empty. Right? It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man hear it, they shall be suddenly afraid. At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. And that was happening, man. That was happening in the dream. The springs of the fountain were standing still, and within a short amount of time, there was no more businesses open, man. None. Right? It was the coldest. Man, it went from a bunch of businesses lit up till the lights got dimmer, till the entire street was pitch black, man. It was so quick, man. So quick. And this is about to happen in America. Hey, the scriptures talk about it. Hey, like what the scriptures say, you have a more sure word of prophecy. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 24. It says, I started 22. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, which that's being cooked up with this whole shipping crate crisis in the seas, right, off the ports. It says, in other of them that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy, right? Because people are going to be going into each other's houses to get the goods. When you think about it, man, here it is. One person might have an entire fridge and everything full of food, a pantry full of food, right? And instead of just going and get the little necessities that they need, as soon as the news starts issuing out, hey, there's a little bit, there's not that much stuff coming in. You might want to get to the store and get, the little bit you need. Don't overbuy. These people start splurging and spend the entire bag on getting some groceries and filling their houses, to where the person that had to wait a few days to get some money to go in there goes in there and the shelves are completely bare. What do you think that person's gonna do? He's gonna be at your house knocking on the door, man. He's gonna be in your living room, in your kitchen, fixing a sandwich, and he's gonna be telling you, you better shut up or I'll kill. That's what's gonna happen. And these people are so selfish that this is what they do. It says verse 23. It says, and the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them. For the earth shall be wasted, and the city shall be cast down. It says, and there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it. The tree shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? Now, this was already happening in 2019. They were sitting there shipping everybody back. In 2020, it got worse, where they were like, no, we don't have enough people to actually pick up the crops and everything to get this stuff. So this is already happening. You think it's gonna get even worse, because as the scripture says, a plague, as an arrow shot of a mighty expert man, it returned not again. So shall the plagues be shot and shall not return to me void. So the plagues are being shot out, and it's gonna get worse. Right? It's not gonna stop. That's going to be an exaggerated stage. And this is what we're in already, man. There's all these jobs, but nobody's working them. Right? So Lord willing, this is edifying. Just something real quick. I had this dream. Shalom. Stay up. And hey, keep on in the work. Shalom.